Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, September 19, 2018, 11:42 p.m. Birmingham. Tomorrow, it's highly likely, it's possible that you're going to get an alert on your phone. Time I heard was 8:30 or somewhere in there. It must be a.m., and it's coming from our President, Trump. Look, I heard this last night on Hannity, okay? So you may have already heard it too. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but I hear that's an emergency broadcast system from Trump with FEMA. And don't be afraid of FEMA. You know, if you're a bad guy, you might. But if you're a good guy, don't be afraid of them. They're not going to lock up 15 million Christians. I think they have these millions of caskets laying around for something else. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I heard this last night. Also, let's go ahead and talk about the calf, the red heifer, born in Israel. I believe it's on the 4th, right? And so far, Rabbi Richmond is going over this thing with a magnifying glass this big every day, looking for a white hair. Hadn't found one yet. So far, it's without spot and blemish. Every day, he's looking for it. As of today, not found it. What does this mean? Well, every animal that's been required to be sacrificed had been young. Remember? Put the blood on the post in the top piece of the doorway, and the angel of death will pass you over, and you sacrifice this lamb and y'all eat it. Well, the red heifer is going to be there to cleanse the temple. That's right, to cleanse the temple, and everything going into the temple has to be cleaned with the ashes. Hey, they're in high cotton right now. This is very, very, very important to Israel. And what could make it even better is that they were officially, in May, the embassy moved there, changed the consulate building to the embassy building in Jerusalem, officially recognized. And they couldn't have that red heifer, and they couldn't use it until Jerusalem was in the hands officially of the Jews. And it is officially in the hands of the Jews. So with that, I thought, well, there's other things that we have to wait and see. And one of them was, look, God pointed Trump to North Korea. And I believe we're going to see this place rise out of the pits of hell that Kim has had them under for 70 years, and let there be a light in that country that lifts people up finally. But maybe the act of it is good enough. The act of moving in that direction, because there's another signal coming from North Korea. We want this. All right. Surveillance system. The Antichrist is going to require that. Oh, by the way, they cannot build the temple until the Antichrist gives them the okay. And what does that tell us? Wow, that tells us that the rapture has to occur for the Antichrist to come in. He can't be made known as long as the restrainer is here. And the Holy Spirit's the restrainer. The Antichrist cannot come. False prophet can't tap his man until the Holy Spirit has left, because he has no power to do so. Surveillance. Let me tell you about one guy in Mexico, in Juarez, opposite El Paso. Aircraft flying, a Cessna 172, 182, somewhere in that range. Not a big plane, it's a 4-place airplane. It's got a real fancy radar system in it. with video, with surveillance. Well, it can fly without crossing over Mexico. It can fly on the border. And the bands of this thing will shoot out at such a wide angle because it's high enough that it can catch everything on the ground and record it in real time as multiple computers put it together, and then they go back 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days and watch the traffic as it moves in real time. So there was a guy murdered on a certain street by a drug cartel, and it was important to find out who they were, because that would be taking down 2 drug cartels. So the United States said, well, we'll help you. We can probably find them. And they did. They saw the guy being cornered and shot. They saw the guys who shot him flee in one car, dump that car, jump into another, blocks away, and go take off in another direction, jump into another car, and then go somewhere else and go home. Well, they told the Mexican police there, if you go to this house right here, and they circled it, that's where you find the killer. And they found him. Got 2 cartels off the street right there. Surveillance systems in place, even in Mexico. Now, every convenience store up and down the highway has security systems. If a crime is committed in my town, all they do is go out there and connect these videos together and follow the car. You know how you've been seeing it on TV for so long. So it's in place. And last, Jared Kushner, you know, bought that $1.5 billion building, address 666 in New York City, across the street from the Chrysler building. He has it leased out. I don't know how many floors, but a number of floors to the company that is building, that is making the implants, the chip that will go in man in the day that it's required. They're probably already being mass produced right now. Excuse me. Guys, what I'm telling you is, don't wait till tomorrow to get right with the Lord. You may not be here tomorrow. If we are here tomorrow, prepare to hear right here and see if we hear from Trump. Oh, one more thing. The tens of thousands of caskets, and I took pictures of one tractor trailer load in Montana, or in South Dakota, just within 6 miles of Sturgis, up on the freeway. I took 3 pictures. I could not believe what I was seeing. I was seeing the tractor trailer full of dark gray caskets stacked up one on another, and I didn't count them, but I knew there had to be 10,000 on that double tractor trailer rig because they were stacked up so tightly. Why do they need so many when thousands upon tens of thousands have already been found stacked up in certain places? Well, the minute we have the rapture of the church, the next day begins the mass killing of people, up to 2 million a day on this planet for the next 7 years. Is that enough to think about? Jody Wolf, Expoz.